gentlemen, we are here for Rogue Actions, and I don't know about you, Heinzie. I think we picked a good week to be one day late for Rogue Actions.
For once, being that little bit more slack, Cubs has definitely worked in our favor, 100%.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Morning, fam. Morning, everyone out there.
It all got announced.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Did not see this
It came
coming
thick
either.
and fast.
Yep.
So
it actually connects to our mini moment. So this was our meme of the week. Me finishing my dailies in 5 minutes and wondering what I'm supposed to do with no conquest or GAC. And this really what kind of was my reaction. I logged into the game this morning. I'm just like, really? What am I going to do? And then we got this massive change being announced for Grand Arena and Squad Arena. And I think that pretty much gives us our answer on why we don't have Grand Arena right now. What do you think, Heinzie?
100%. I think now it's justified. It wasn't just a case of, we can't be bothered or a calendar thing. I think they're rolling out massive changes to the way that we play this game going forward, Cubs. Personally, you and I like GSC. I'm excited about this. There's a lot of good things, but we'll cover them one after the other. But overall, man, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing with the changes. I know it's a lot to take in, though.
It is. And so here's the post. This is what we're going to dig into next here. On the episode of Rogue Actions. So now, first of all, I want to call out, I'm going to give 5 reasons why I actually love these changes. And I took a minute, I made my reaction video, and I wasn't sure what I thought at first. I was like, I'm not really going to give a full opinion yet. I just need like a couple hours to stew on this. And the more I stewed on it, the more I just thought, this is amazing for this game. Honestly, I think it's amazing. That said, if you hate it, you don't like Grand Arena, whatever, change is scary. I get it. And this is one of the most, I think, gut-wrenching changes that we could have in Galaxy Fields, to have our main Crystal revenue shifted from one game mode to another. And so if you're in that camp and you're really apprehensive, I also want to establish before I go through this list that I think it's really understandable for you to be hesitant right now. Right, Heinzie?
Oh, 100%. It's a lot to take in. It really is. For those that know what's happening, and this is to be clear, not everyone watches these videos, of course. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to see these massive changes in game suddenly not quite know what's going on, and that is a big thing for a lot of other people out there. For us that are certainly across the forums and we keep an eye on things, and that's our role, to bring the information to you guys. We've got a lot to digest and a lot to go through. But yeah, overall, I mean, there are certainly going to be some negatives, especially for a lot of mid-tier players, I see, are certainly going to be a problem. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of things that tick the box for me that I've personally been complaining about for a while. And I think that's certainly going to be addressed. Okay,
so let's get to it. Again, there's reasons to be hesitant, but I'm just going to talk about the 5 things I thought about that to me, make this change super exciting for me. And number 1 by far on my list is that this is going to effectively eliminate shard mafias. Which, I mean, maybe you'll still coordinate with your shard, but the rewards aren't really going to be, I think, worth coordinating for nearly as much, because we're removing that crystal revenue. And if you aren't familiar with shard mafias, what I'm referring to is that shard chat, that group of people at the top of every arena server that basically coordinate who gets to be in what place when their payouts are, and kind of decides who gets the right to that crystal income. And there are a lot of players in this game who are part of those shard mafias, and they have no problems. But there's also a big percentage of people who for years have been on the outs from their shard mafia for whatever reason. Maybe they hit the wrong person on the wrong day and they were leading the shard, and so they're at public enemy number 1 forever. Maybe they didn't feel like coordinating with people. They just wanted to play the game. There's so many different reasons that you may be on the outs, and if that's you, then you literally have a group of people on a Discord server who are coordinating against you to try to stifle your chances of getting that crystal revenue in the game. And to me, that was one of the biggest blind spots of the competitive integrity of this game for a very long time. And I never, whenever it came up for me, my comment on it was, I don't really know how to address it other than removing crystals from Squad Arena. And that's exactly what they're doing here. That does address that problem. And I think it is a necessary change. And I think it is an outstanding change for the competitive integrity of this game when it comes to crystal revenue.
Yeah. I personally am in one of those shard chat servers. I've been playing this game for 5 years. My particular server is
I've
pretty
always
good.
been in one.
Yeah, if you do the wrong thing in there, if you have a crack at someone before their payout, unfortunately, you're going to be singled out and targeted on a climb so that you can't climb any further and get those top end rewards. I know certainly there's the biggest issue, and I don't find this as much being in Australia because my payout time down in Australia is radically different to the US. So I've never really had too much of a problem really wrestling with those top spots because most people's payouts aren't the same as mine. US is a whole different story. Obviously, the US market that play this game, a lot of people have that Eastern time zone or whatever time zone over there.
If even in the shard mafia, when you're coordinating, you've got 5 people on your payout sometimes, and you got to remember which place am I taking today again.
You got to rotate. Yeah, they rotate, and it's just logistically, it's a lot of mucking around. There's certainly been a lot of, as you said, Cubs, a lot of aggravation and hostility when someone's either done the wrong thing or not allowed in because it's already full. There's too many people as it is. It's eliminated. It's gone. It's wiped away and forgotten. Certainly. One thing I would like to see though, because we could almost treat Arena now for the more mid to end game players because, of course, they're getting newer players are going to get a benefit out of this. They're getting certainly additional gear and they're going to be really fast tracked to their progression into the GAC brackets to level 85. I really like that too. I'm sure that's probably another topic. I'm sorry if I'm covering that one. But the good thing is what I personally would like to see, I would like to see the crystal refreshes disappear. Now, of course, there's no crystal rewards involved at that particular game mode. I don't see there a real fair reason to actually require crystals either to do a refresh because we could kind of treat it as a bit of a mini sandbox, something that we've been asking for some time. And I think
I'll
that
take it a step
can be
further.
Positive.
Shake up the shards. Because right now it doesn't matter. The crystal revenue isn't there. These rewards are a lot less important. And so why not make arena servers now just your guild?
Yep, absolutely.
Why
just
not?
Make them whatever you need. Do some
practice. Then it becomes
practice.
a sandbox.
Throw a team in there. If someone hits me up and goes, "Hey Heinzie, can you put a trail lead team in there because I want to test this lineup?" No problem. Doesn't matter. Doesn't cost me anything. Go for it. That would be absolutely fantastic. And it's already something in the game. It doesn't need to be produced. It's already there. We know it works.
Yep.
So that to me makes a lot of sense.
Completely agreed. All right, number 2, the second reason I love these changes is Arena was so stale. And having a game, like I literally every day could have been taking first. Every single day. I could have taken first. And I never did just because of how boring that game mode got because you just do the same battle 5 times. You got to wait for the timer to go down. And you've got to do it at a specific time during the day. Am I able to play that time? Even when I move the time, my schedule changes so much. I can't keep up with one specific time forever, regardless of where I decide to put that. And it was just a very, very stale game mode. And so to have that crystal revenue moved to the area of the game that is clearly the competitive focus of the game, Grand Arena is the individual competitive focus of the game. Like it or hate it. That is the focus of the game. I mean, you could like or love Squad Arena forever. That was where the competitive focus was before Grand Arena. Now it's all about Grand Arena. It's just a very positive thing, I think, because of how stale Squad Arena was and is.
Yep, 100%. I couldn't agree more. I think you covered it all there, Cubs. We use the same teams. We get new release Galactic Legends. We still use the same ones we've had. I'm using Kenobi. I've had it sitting there for months, almost 6 months now. Sitting there. I barely hit Arena unless I really have to. And in the past, I've only been hitting Arena when I needed to do it for a GAC feat. That's just me. So, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Another really good kind of bonus factor in that I want to add with Arena being stale is a problem this game has had for a long time is if you take a break from the game, especially early in the game, and then come back, your Arena shard will be so far beyond you that it's almost better to just start over from the beginning so you can end up in a shard that started at the same time as you. This effectively eliminates that problem too because you're just going to be matched up with people who are competitive with you right now in the game in Grand Arena, which is another little bonus tidbit of what's great for this. Number 3 is removing feats from Grand Arena. That to me is something all of us should come together and celebrate for a couple reasons. Number 1, I think Conquest has given me enough feats. Okay, I've got enough feats for a lifetime. That's the only I am feated out because of Conquest.
Brother. Preach.
But number 2, to me, it made no sense that I should have to go for style points in my Grand Arena competitive strategy. And there were a lot of situations where there'd be certain characters I'd have to win with or set my defense in a certain way. I'm like, that's not the best strategy for me. Like, I want to get high banners. And so having it just be the pure competition, I think is solid. I felt for a long time like feats were a decent idea, just not for Grand Arena.
Yeah. No, 100%. Conquest is the main HQ of feats going forward. I'm not going to miss them. And I think logistically as well for the developers as well and the guys that make the game. Yeah. It's probably one less thing they have to worry about is trying to create these feats month after month after month as well. They just don't have to worry about that now. I think that's definitely a win as well. Not having to do 21 arena battles, happy with that. Fleet ones, we're still going to do fleet ones, of course, because there's still, rewards in fleet. So we're still going to do fleet anyway. But yeah, overall, I'm certainly happy that feats are gone and we can get down to who can play the game the best. And I think that's a great way to go. I like that a lot.
Exactly, and that is who Grand Arena is. The best players in the game are the players who are doing the best in Grand Arena. You won't change my mind. That's just where it's at. Also, with Fleet in particular, we're also not going to have to do Fleet feats for Grand Arena, which is not just the Squad Arena Fleet feats, but the Fleet Arena. All right, number 4. I actually see this as a very good quality of life change because for Squad Arena, you would have to focus on the game at a very specific time of the day, every single day, sometimes for as much of an hour during that day, depending on where you're at. People think about a lot of times in terms of, it's just 5 battles, no big deal, but that's 5 battles spread out over time unless you want to spend 250 crystals refreshing all of those battles. And it's also a very specific time where if you have anything, I remember early in the game when I cared a lot about Squad Arena, I literally would not go to a movie at a specific time of the day on a date with my wife because I'm like, well, that's my payout time. Like, I can't miss that. And they did improve that a little bit, Heinze, when they added the ability to adjust your payout time. But still, you can only do that twice a year. And what are the odds that you're going to find that one magic time that every single day of the year you're available? And so having that move to Grand Arena where now you've got that 24-hour attack phase, sometimes you're going to attack early, sometimes you'll attack late, sometimes you might have to spread those attacks out. It doesn't restrict your availability to go after the best crystal income in the game. 100%.
Time zones, I can talk about time zones for days. Cubs, you know that. Yeah. I'm all about time zones down here, down under, and how much they suck. But look, the time of needing to be at work and go to the toilet for an hour to do your payout is over. There's no need for that anymore.
Gosh.
And don't lie, guys. You guys know you do it. You know you do it. Don't tell me don't try for 1 second to tell me that you guys never sat on the can, on the loo, on the dunny. There you go, if you want me to use the Australian stuff, right? Tell me you didn't sit on there and do an arena battle. You tell me that you didn't do that at work, and I'll go, hey. But, straight up, I think it's great. 24-hour window is definitely better than an hour. In the higher end bracket of an arena payout shard. It's tough stuff. Pretty competitive sometimes, and some are better than others, of course. Others you could sit there for a few days and not move. It's fine. But for the ones that are super active, especially the earlier players, the ones that have been playing from the start, which really have built up these really, really strong rosters and these really, really well-modded lineups as well, where people even need to remove mods in some cases just to actually climb. They've asked their opponent to take the mods off because they can't beat you. That's happened for years as well. All that stuff's a memory now. and I'm all down for that. And when you say change the payout times, that was only a recent change. That was not that long ago, Cubs.
Yeah.
So for many years we've been stuck with whatever was set for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the idea of if you want to go get the crystals, you don't need anybody else to help you. Just go win, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that kind of circles back to the Shard Mafia about having people move mods, or it's not about, you don't have to worry about, oh, can I hit this guy, or am I gonna piss him off if I hit? No, just go win. Yeah, piss him off.
Yep.
Destroy him.
Go nuts. Go crazy. Go to GAC. Kick some, and get on with the job. And enjoy your rewards. That's a win.
Exactly. All right, moving on. The last reason, last on this list of 5 reasons I think these changes are amazing is the matchmaking changes. Changing the matchmaking, Heinze, to a win-loss ladder system is the way this should have been from the very beginning, in my opinion. Now, this is a little bit rough at first, likely, but it's a system that self-regulates. Because the more you win, you get with the people who are winning. The more you lose, you get with the people who are losing. This is kind of like, I saw Gridden talking about this on his stream tonight. It was the perfect way to kind of compare it. Is kind of like the old school Halo ranking system where you'd battle up. You were level 1 through level 50. Level 50s were the god tier players of the world. Level 20s were your, more casual but pretty competitive players. Your level 10s were the noobs. Your level 30s and above were people who were pretty freaking good at the game. And you would kind of raise a little bit sometimes, you'd lower a little bit, and then you'd kind of even out in the range that you just typically stay in. That just makes sense for this kind of game mode so that you can end up with competitive matches and you don't show up to play and you've got no chance of winning or no chance of losing. And another thing that I really like about this is for a lot of players, when they first start the game, and we'll talk a little bit about this in your video with the free-to-play players, but I actually think it's a very free-to-play friendly change, because if you're a free-to-play player, you start this game, Hyperdrive bundle accounts are hoarding all of the crystals at the top of the game, right? You can't get there. Now those crystals aren't there. You're going to get those in their daily challenges. And then once you hit level 85, you hit Grand Arena, that crystal availability will be there for you against competition that is in your bracket, not people who have spent thousands of dollars on the game already, and you've got to find a way to beat a Galactic Legend Kenobi with your Traya team because you don't have you're not spending money to get those Galactic Legends yet. And so I think this right here is also one of the more free-to-play friendly components of the whole jig, and something I think that people need to give credit to CG for changing because of what it does for free-to-play players potentially.
Absolutely. I mean, Cubs, you and I have both come up against two different types of accounts in the past, okay? We've come up a highly tuned account with the right mods, with the right teams and the right counters, low GP, matchmake, and it's a real tough battle. And on the flip side, we've also come up against accounts that have 1200 6-dot mods and stuff like that, and you get your butt handed to you before you even start. We've all been there. Everyone that's played this game competitively long enough have had matchups like this. They're a distant memory now. If you have low mods and go up against someone better, it's because you're a better player than them. Okay, that's straight up. That is brilliant. I love that. If you're going to come up against a fed account and you come up against a tuned one, again, the tuned one is a better player. Therefore, it's a more even competition. You're going to have an advantage because you have the extra toys to play with. It offsets it slightly, makes it a better competition. I love this. I think this is absolutely the best way to go. And people have to remember, and they mention it in the post, and this is the most important thing, when the matchmaking kicks in, there's going to be a good month, maybe 2 months, before the whole ranking system settles. So you're going to see, don't jump up and down on the forums and Reddit and all that sort of stuff in the first month or so, because you're going to see crap matchups. It's going to happen until things settle down, and they will settle down with this system.
Remember this, because you're gonna see the post at the beginning. This is a system where you get a rough starting point, and the system will regulate itself over time naturally because of the win losses. It's just gonna self-select.
They had to work off GP. They had no choice. They couldn't work off the original ranking system because there are people that, just don't like GAC, and they could have 100K and they could have a 9 mil roster. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So this is, the most even way to start with until everything else settles down once the win-losses kick in. But yeah, if you have a good run at it, you face better challenges. I've got certainly a better chance to face guys like Gom and guys like Loki if I have a really good run. People that, because of my GP level, I'm probably not going to face. So I think it's absolutely cool. I can't wait, and I'm excited about it. It's a huge, huge positive in my view when it comes to the matchmaking, but they've got to get it right.
A lot of reasons to be excited. A lot of reasons to be hesitant too. We're not focusing so much in this video on the negative side of things, and maybe I'll post a video on that or discuss it on streams, etc. But right now, I saw a lot. There's a lot of negative chatter about this that I saw in comment sections on Reddit, etc. And I just wanted to call these 5 things out because I think that these are really, really positive things for this game. And I am very, very stoked for them. And we're not going to talk a lot about this because we don't know a ton about Talon, but I just wanted to show how sexy Talon is looking right now. I cannot wait. Looks like we're going to see a greatly improved Sith Triumvirate squad. And I did listen. There was an interview that was done with Miller and Crumb over on RSG. And one of the big comments that stuck out to me is that she's going to be a high burst, single target burst damage character, which is something that the Sith Triumvirate is lacking. Not a lot of good, solid single target damage, and so it sounds like she's going to do that. Hopefully more so than Omega did, but really exciting stuff here.
Yeah, how good does it look? How good does Darth Talon look? She's going to look fantastic in the game. Absolutely brilliant.
I mean, I got to go change my pants, so.
I mean, anything that boosts up Traya is great. My first thought looking at it is certainly some sort of a, Mothma Kel-Katan type counter possibly. That's my first thought off the bat, of course.
We'll probably
love
see her
this
kit
direction
today.
of Legends.
As this video goes live, I'm sure we'll see the kit today, and then we can react a little more specifically.
Yeah, we haven't seen the kit yet. We've only seen the original release. It's only been a few hours since the news came out at all through RSG. Good work, by the way, RSG guys. Love you. Keep it up. It's really, really exciting. I love this direction. I really, really like where this is all heading. Yep. But this leads down to, of course, thanks to Apple, a week or two ago. There was some sort of a challenge, if I'm correct, Cubs, if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, we may or may not be seeing a Rose Tico Omicron for me. It looks like we're it kind of looks like we're gonna see a Dark Side Mara Jade now.
Oh, don't get my hopes up. Rebellions were built on hope, Cubs. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I need to go whale some Omicrons.
It's going to be fun. I've got one saved in case. I've got one ready.
Yeah, me too. Only one. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Head over to Heinz's video. Link is down below. Yeah. Still going to keep the discussion going. And as always, my brothers, don't forget.
So very nice.